Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. We were talking about the statement. It's like this: we need to write a Java program to read two integers a and b, and we need to compute a by b, and we need to print if it is correct. That is both. If the denominator is non-zero, then we need to print the result. If the denominator is equals to 0, then we need to raise an exception. Okay. This was the thing I was highlighting. The raise and the I will talk about this thing. So let's get the concept. I was talking about the error. So we have mainly two type of error. One is said to be the compilation time error. It's due to syntactical mistakes. Then we have one more kind of error. It is said to be the runtime error. It's based on the logic. Okay, logical issue. If you have, so we'll get an error, and this is said to be what exception. Whatever we say that is logical error, it is said to be what exception. Okay. So in order to handle this exception, we have what in Java automatic handling of the exception. In Java, we have what automatic handling of exception. It is called what exception handling. Whereas in the case of C, okay, we need to handle the exception manually. If you won't handle the exception, what exactly is going to happen, I've shown in the morning class. If you won't handle the exception properly, your program it is going to terminate abnormally. Remember, okay. So ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಇದು ನೀವು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು if the program if it terminates abnormally end user they won't come to know why exactly it's been terminated. So we need to give the proper reason. We need to terminate when it is an end application. So for that purpose we have something called exception handling in C++ as well as in Java. We will be understanding that part now. Okay. In the morning session, I was talking about that exception handling itself. So now let me get that exception handling. Here, I will create again two classes. I will create two classes. One for I can say to the exception. Okay, and one more is for the my exception like that. We will be getting two classes. Else we can also do with the help of only one class. Let me create two classes. So I will create the class. I'll say the first class has a integer exception that is int exception. Then I will create one more class by the name called my integer exception like that. So for that purpose, I'll be getting the class name as my int exception. The public static void main I need. I will get that one. And here I will create one more class called integer exception. ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ನೀವು ಬೇರೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇಷ್ಟ. I need a scanner. So import java dot then simply I will take scanner ಅಂತ ಸಾಕು. You can take what star. Okay. This is the thing. So now in this integer exception I will get mainly variables here. Two variables I will get. We'll get two variables int a and b, and we'll also store the result in C. Okay, so we can take that result as a double until togobodu. So let me remove this one. Okay, then I will create the scanner object. Scanner SC is equals to new scanner but IM. We have scanner object. So now we will go and read the value for A and B. So we'll give the statement sysout system.out.println. I will get both the values. Enter. Okay. I'll say that A has a numerator. The numerator. So I'll get the numerator in A. So A is equals to sc dot next int. Sc dot next int. We have error with this one. We are getting error for println. Let's create once again this entire file. I will delete this file. Create once again. New class. Let's say this is exception demo. Exception demo, and the main class is my exception. All like this. Class exception demo. Paste here. Still we are having error. Let me close this Eclipse itself. We're getting for system object itself, system class. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ error ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. If we have error for system, then it won't work. We'll relaunch. The error, if it is still persisting, then we will go for Notepad. No need to worry. Create now. Once again. So this is my exception demo. Public static void main, we have lang object public, then finish it. Okay. So let me check whether I am able to get or not that. Coming. I had some issue with the editor itself. Now it's perfect. So class exception demo. So in this we will get this. Okay. So I will import java.util.scanner. So we have this. So let me have this note. We have issue while it's coming, but not. Yeah, because we are not created method at all. So we are trying to give one system.out.println as a member data member ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. That's why it's not taking. It's from my side. The fault is from my side itself. So we'll get the method as read. Inside that read method, I need to get this. Sorry for this one. System.out.println. So here I will give that statement. Enter numerator. That numerator I'm going to read for A. So then I will get the same thing and I will make it as denominator. Okay. Denominator. I will read for B. After this one, I will do the computation. Double. It says C is equals to A by B. A by B. Then I will display the result. Sort. Division. Or you can say what simply A by B is SCC. Otherwise, you want to get the value itself. So then I can do like this: A plus division plus B. Okay, that's B is equals to. Understand? So we are able to get A plus, that is A by B is equals to C value. So this is the thing we have here. Let me create an object for this class exception. Demo. Demo. I'll say ed is equals to new exception demo. Then I will call that read. So that's it. So this is the thing we have here. Let's see what's going to happen. So very simple program. We have AB and we are doing what reading that AB. We are doing a computation that is C is equals to A by B, then we are displaying the result. And in this main my exception demo, we are creating object for that class, then we are calling it. So we'll save it, then we'll run. It will ask for a numerator, we'll give 10, and it is going to ask for the denominator and give 2. And this is the result. 10 by 2 is 5. Okay. Now we will see the issue with respect to division. So if I give the denominator value as 0, okay. If I give the denominator value as 0, 10, and the denominator if I give 0, Java it's going to handle what the exception automatically by itself. You can see here. So if I press enter, I will get one exception. What is the exception? Java.lang.arithmetic exception. It's basically arithmetic exception. And what is the exception description we have here? It is given by the runtime engine itself. They put the default again. We have what slash by 0. It means what division by 0. Okay. Now, if you want to handle this exception by yourself, sorry, ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಲ್ಲ ಈ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಮತ್ತೆ I'm unable to execute what some statements after the exception. For example, you can see here So after getting this exception, okay, after getting this exception, so we have one more statement. For example, say I have something like this. South, then say hello. Understand? So if the denominator is correct, then what exactly we'll get out? We'll get hello. Then we'll proceed for this statement also. Whatever the statement we have below this statement, it will be displayed when we are going to give the denominator value as non-zero. Understand? For example, if I give, as I said, 10 and 2, if I give, we'll get what hello as well as the result. But if I give this denominator value as 0, understand? If I give the denominator value as 0, then what happens? It will handle for the exception by itself. Okay, but we are unable to proceed further. Understand? So exception ಬಂತು ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಾಯ್ತು, your program it is going to be terminated. Am I clear? So you can see it's given a clue and it's been terminated. Clue ಕೊಡ್ತು ಮತ್ತೆ terminate ಆಯ್ತು program. We are unable to proceed for the further statement which is there below than this. Okay, remember in our Java or in C++, wherever we have the exception handling concept ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, so there we can handle the exception. After handling the exception, we can proceed further to execute what the next statement. So for example, now if you wish to execute this statement, so what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to handle the exception by ourselves. Nave handle ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Okay, so how to handle the exception in Java? So in order to handle the exception in Java, so we have the concept called try, catch, and block. Okay, so we have try, then we have throw, we have catch. So we need to use what these blocks. Okay, these are all the blocks. We need to use this thing. So with the help of these thing, we can handle what the exception by ourselves. So what is the advantage here? So whenever we get runtime exception or runtime error, you can say, so that exception will be handled and it will still proceed for executing the next statement. Understood? So next statement ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು execute ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Okay, so how to do that one? We have to take the help of this try, throw, and catch. So what exactly try it is going to do? What it is going to do? So in this try block, we need to place the statement so on which you have doubt. Namely doubt ಇದ್ರೆ ರನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಎರರ್ ಬರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, so that those statements you need to bring under this try. Okay, and under this try, we can throw out our own exception by using a throw statement. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ನಾನು ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನು ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಇರಲಿ, but I will handle that one under, it's optional. We can eliminate this throw, but after throwing the exception either by yourself or by the system, we need to catch that exception. If you won't catch the exception, then again it's a issue. So catch ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ತರ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ವೆದರ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಟು ದ display on the console illa to the developer, whatever the message you want to give, you can give with the help of this catch. And after catching, you can still proceed with the next statement. Okay, so I will implement the same thing here. So I have doubt on this, right, this particular statement. So I will bring this in try block. So this is try block. Okay, and after try block, so the exception will be thrown by the runtime itself. Another zero ಕೊಟ್ಟು runtime throw ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. I am not throwing by myself. It's been raised by the runtime itself. If I want to raise, I need to use what throw. ಅದೇ term ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು raise ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. Okay, I will show that part later. So I'm here. If there is anything like zero, if it comes to be, so it is going to catch. It is going to throw an exception. So I need to catch that exception. Okay. So we know what kind of exception we are going to get. So the exception is called what? Arithmetic exception. Okay. So this is the exception we are able to get, and I will give the object name for that exception as key. Then here I can display that exception. This out and I'll display E. Understand? So I will this runtime exception thrown by exception thrown by runtime. That is our JRE, Java runtime engine. Okay. So ಅದು ಥ್ರೋ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ like this. Understand? Right? So after this catch, then still it is going to proceed for the next statement. Next statement ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ proceed ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So let me have this double C. That's one of the member. Remove this double. We'll show the output now. We'll run. Okay. It's asking for the numerator. If I give 10 and if I give 2, then the output will be like this: hello followed by 5.0. So if I run once again and if I give the numerator as 10 and if I give the denominator as 0, so you can see the thing now. So we are able to get what the exception thrown by runtime engine. Correction this is the thing. Exception thrown by runtime engine. What is the exception? Java.lang.arithmetic exception. The same message, that is divide by 0. Understand? Okay. So division, there is slash either divide by 0. So this is the exception which is thrown by the runtime engine, and it has been caught here. A catch block caught ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ. Then it's been displayed here. While displaying, I am displaying with my own statement. Okay. Then the exact exception will be there in the C. So that exception will be thrown, and one of the important thing you need to observe. So after executing, okay, after handling that exception, so it is still able to proceed with the next statement. Next statement proceed after. So this is the thing you can see. It is able to display hello and with 0.0 as some default value. So we have what C. So our value ತೋರಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು 10/0 ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. Understand? Okay. So this is the thing we have here. Okay. So else what I will do, I will get this one and I will paste this in the section. I will place here itself, because if it is correct, then only I need to do this one. Else I am not supposed to do. Let it be here. I will say this as end. Okay. End of exception handling. Okay. So let's go through the execution once again. So 10/2, it's the result and end of exception handling. Now if I run with 0 as the denominator, then this is the thing. So no result. A by B baradilla, because we have exception here. Exception ille raise agide and it's been thrown. Okay, with the help of automatic, that is runtime engine throw ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. Then it is going to be caught here, and this is the message we have here. Okay, that message we have here. Then we have the next statement which will be executed because of this try and catch. Runtime engine exception ಬಂದಿರೋದನ್ನ we have handled it manually. So it is still able to proceed for the next statement execution. Understand? So this is about what try and catch. So remember one thing here: whatever the exception it's been thrown, it's been thrown by our runtime engine. So now, if you wish to throw what your own exception, so then we need to use the keyword called throw. So whenever you use a keyword called throw, it means what you are raising an exception actually. ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್ ರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಂತ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಥ್ರೋ ಅನ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ಥ್ರೋ, then I will throw the exception. The exception is same, arithmetic exception. Arithmetic exception. And here I will give one message division by 0 exception. Non ಕೊಡ್ತಾ or I can say what simply division by 0. Next one. So this is the thing which I am throwing. So in order to throw your own exception, we need to have what the exception, but here we need to prefix with a term or the keyword called new. Okay, I'm throwing my own exception really. Now, what exactly you can observe here, the term called throw. So throw, it means what I am throwing the exception, not by the runtime engine. So the meaning is that this one itself. When I say raise, it means what throw. Throw the exception by the developer. Understand? So now I am passing this message. So what exactly it will does, instead of displaying that message division by 0 ಈ ತರ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so ಅದನ್ನ override ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. It won't use what this as a exception message. Instead of that, we will be getting this as exception message. So you can see now. So we will build and run. So if I give 10 and 2 output, it's perfect. Exception thrown. Yeah, I'm throwing exception because condition check ಮಾಡೋಣ. Let me check one condition. Inside this try block itself. So no need to throw always, as you can see here. So for this case also it's able to throw exception because of continuity statement. So system.out.println is throw up there. So instead of throwing exception for all the scenarios, I'll check the denominator. If the denominator is equals to 0, if the denominator is equals to 0, so then what I will do, I will throw exception. Okay, ಇವಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ throw ಮಾಡೋಣ. Got it? Fine. Else no need to do what the throwing. Get competition. Else we will do this. Am I clear? ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? So I'm checking the denominator. If denominator is 0, I will throw the exception directly. Okay. If it is not 0, then we will go and perform the division and we will display the result. Am I clear? Okay. So now you can see the output. I will run the program once again. If I give the value as 10 for the numerator and for the denominator as 2, the result is like this. 10 by 2, it's 5.0, end of exception handling. Then suppose if I give that numerator as 10, okay. If I give the numerator as 10 and for the denominator as 0, so now we are going to throw an exception. Okay, exception thrown by runtime engine ಅಂತ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಸರಿ ಮಾಡೋಣ. But message ನೋಡಿ, what is the message here we have? It is the message which is thrown by ourselves. Now throw ಮಾಡಿರೋದು division by 0. Understand? So we'll correct here. So exception thrown by the developer. Exception thrown by the developer. Or say what the programmer left there. So I think you're able to observe the difference. This is the thing, it is given by ourselves. Now ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು runtime engine exception ಆದರೆ it will give the message as divide by 0, that is slash ಬಂದು by 0 ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ತರ. Okay, understand? So we'll run once again. This is for the last time. 10 by 2, it's perfect. And if I go once again with denominator as 0, so exception will be thrown by a developer. Okay, this is the exception. What is the exception? Java.lang.arithmetic exception, and this is division by 0. Right? So one space actually ಸರಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so that's it. It's all about what the lab assignment number 3A. If you have any doubt with respect to this, you can ask. So you can see here we have all the things. We have try, throw, then catch. Much more about this try, catch, throw I will talk in theory class. Okay, ತುಂಬಾ ಇದೆ ಹೇಳೋದು. It's enough for our lab assignment. It's ಸಾಕು. So that's it about today's lab session. If you have any doubt, any issues, you can ask and get clarified. Hence, you drop your attendance and leave the session. We have Aarti ma'am with us. 1 second. Again, Aarti ma'am. Aarti ma'am, ಇದೀರಾ?
ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಅದೇ ಈಗ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ಫೈನಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್.
ಸರ್ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಿಲ್ಲ?
ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
ಹಾಂ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಹುಡುಗರು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ. ಆಸ್ ಯೂಶುವಲ್ 4 ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಿ. 4 assignments will be created as usual. 2 assignments with respect to the source code and 2 assignments with respect to the result screenshot. The problem ಏನೇನಾಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಗೆ ಅವರು ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸಮ್ ಆರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ದ PDF ಫೈಲ್, ಜಾವಾ ಫೈಲ್. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಲುಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಜಾವಾ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ದ PDF ಫೈಲ್.
ಡೆಡ್ಲೈನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Some of you are not obeying the deadline. You are supposed to obey the deadline. Whatever the assignment.
Some of them they have not submitted up to the date. Even though the first 2 assignments I have allowed, even though they have submitted late, I have evaluated. Please try to give within the given time.
So as ma'am said, you need to hand it in a specified time. So handed in ಅಂತ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು. handed late ಆದರೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಏನೋ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ನಾವು ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕುಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಅವಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಸ್ ಸಂದೀಪ್ ಸರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್. ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ಕೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಅಸೈನ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್. ಡೆಡ್ಲೈನ್ ಅವರು ಮಾನಿಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಗಾಯ್ಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಆ ಥರ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳಿ. ಫೈಲ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ರೀಸಬ್ಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಆ ಥರ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್. ಮೇಡಮ್ ಇವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೋ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಮೀ. ರೈಟ್? ಆಯ್ತು ಮೇಡಮ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಡ್ರಾಪ್ ಯುವರ್ ಅಟೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ I'll leave the session. ಆಯ್ತು ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ,
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Excuse me, sir.